Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's Tuesday review video, we're going to be looking at the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. Now this is the original one. On the back it says Universal Sheer, but there is also a matte and a luminous version of this. But for the purposes of this video, and just kind of because, I only wanted to try the original one, so that's what we're going with here. I believe e.l.f. kind of created this primer, if you will, in a sort of not so low-key way, trying to dupe the Tatcha version of this primer. Tatcha has like a sort of putty primer type thing that's supposed to fill in pores and lines and that sort of thing. And Tatcha, if you do not know, honestly, for the best, because Tatcha is a very expensive brand, and I've never owned anything from them, and I never will, because I just can't rationalize the cost. But I can rationalize the e.l.f. cost. So my local Walmart has actually been really great recently at getting some of the newer e.l.f. products. So I believe this was only about $8 Canadian at my local Walmart. It just comes in this typical little jar. One of the things I thought was weird was that it didn't come with any applicator or any sort of protectant inside, so you really just use your finger on it. On the back of the box it says, "This perfecting putty primer smooths the skin and preps it with squalene, how do you say that, to help moisturize and grip makeup for all day wear. The velvety texture glides over the skin, smoothing over imperfections for a poreless effect." So we are also going to take a look at this on the e.l.f. website, because funnily enough, I had a cart made on e.l.f. and I was just waiting until a point in my life when I could rationalize checking the cart out, when really there was only 2 products I wanted. But then my Walmart got both products in stock, so I just bought them and I'm just gonna review them this way. So on the e.l.f. website, the Poreless Putty Primer retails for $8. The details there are exactly the same as the details that were given on the back of the box, so I don't have to read those again and struggle with the word squalene, which took me 14 tries to do the first time. Why is this skin-loving formula always sold out? It's infused with squalene for optimal hydration, smooth texture glides over skin seamlessly, grips makeup for all-day wear, and a flawless finish. Perfect for all skin types, and then it lets you try to figure out which of the formulas is best for you. And then underneath that it says pairs well with the Flawless Finish Foundation, which is what I'm wearing it with in the demo footage that I have for you in this video. Something else that I think is important to know about this primer is the how to use section. Apply a thin, even amount to moisturize skin prior to makeup application. Allowed to set for 30 seconds before applying foundation. Pro tip, apply primer to eyelids prior to eyeshadow application to lock your eyeshadow in place. So the 30 seconds thing, I think, really makes a big difference with this product. So in my demo for you here, I actually did use the timer on my phone and waited 30 seconds. And yes, it felt silly, but 30 seconds made a whole difference, because I have done this before and not waited the 30 seconds, and the primer does practically nothing when you don't wait the 30 seconds. But when you wait the 30 seconds, I actually do feel like it lessens the look of pores. My forehead is a very porous area. Normally, I think it wouldn't freak out your trypophobia, however you say that, because it's got a lot of little dots on it, but that's skin. Skin has pores, but it's very porous. And it's got a lot of wrinkles as well. So this, I actually do think, does a good job of smoothing and sort of hiding those pores and wrinkles, but in a natural way. I can imagine the Tatcha version of this primer does it to a much more intense degree. I can imagine with the Tatcha one, you get sort of plastic, perfect looking skin, whereas when I use this e.l.f. primer, I definitely still have pores, and I definitely still have wrinkles. They are just less. They are less noticeable, they are less defined. So I like this product because it doesn't give me weirdly unnatural looking skin. I like it because it definitely helps my skin look, a little bit naturally better. And I also do think it helps with the longevity of the wear of my makeup, because I find that when I wear this primer, my forehead doesn't get quite as oily as it usually does. Especially if I'm wearing a matte foundation, I do find that I usually get really oily in the middle of my forehead. It doesn't bother me as much when my foundation is luminous, because then my whole face is glowy. But with this, I do find that it helps control that oil a little bit, not a lot, but enough that I don't feel like I need to blot in the middle of the day, which is nice. And if you consider the fact that I have worn this a bunch of times and there's barely a dent in it, this is gonna last me for the rest of my life. I'm gonna be an 85-year-old lady still using this e.l.f. primer, if it doesn't go bad by then, to fill in my wrinkles and my pores. So I guess my overall thoughts on this primer is, don't expect it to make a world of a difference. Don't expect too much from it, and you'll like it. It gives you a very naturally nicer looking skin, is what I'm saying. It fills pores a little bit, hides wrinkles a little bit, They're definitely still there. They're definitely still noticeable. You're not going to magically have like Barbie plastic skin. But if you're like me and it's just something that you want maybe lessened a little bit, so that your skin looks a little bit nicer, a little more naturally perfect, I definitely recommend this primer in that case. If you have more intense pores that you want filled, maybe go for more of a silicone primer like the Smashbox one, or I think there's like a bajillion companies that make that sort of thick silicone primer at this point. I think L'Oreal even has one. Go for something like that, or if you happen to be a millionaire, go for the Tatcha version of this. But the e.l.f. one is definitely good for those of us who are a little bit more low-key with our skin makeup, and we don't mind that you can see that I have some pores and some wrinkles and that sort of thing. I think the main benefit of this for me is actually that it helps keep my forehead skin a little bit smoother and keep my foundation on a little bit better and a little bit matter. I think those are the things that I like the best about this, so I only wear it on my forehead, and that's okay with me. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed already, and I will see you next time. Bye!